So let's take a look at how we can create till this point. So let's start from 0. So this initial part is very easy. As you can see, we have transitions. So in order to bring in a text, you can head up to Studio and drag and drop a text element here. And once the text element is there with the matter, you can head up to Motion right here. And as you can see, the text comes from top to the middle. So it's basically in position. You're positioning the text. So we are in motion, in position, and when you scroll down, you have bottom right here. It's not selected because we have selected the entire element. So when you click on bottom, it is now selected. And we have selected word forward and using fade. So similar for that's basically the entrance transition. And once the text is in the middle of the screen, it now exits the screen by zooming in on the entire screen and then fading out. So in order to do that, you can simply head over to motion out, and it's basically zooming in, right? So it's basically scaling. So you can head up to scale, and as you can see, up is selected. So when you click on it, you get a preview right here. So that's what happens right here. You want to take a look at other uh, editing or advanced setting, you can simply click on it, or you can click on this and this pops up. So that is very simple. So let's take a look at the second and third part, which is these two elements or frames right here. So for this one, it's pretty simple. We have just duplicated this. We have duplicated it. As you can see, the first portion is just industry. I mean, it comes from top to the middle. So that's what we are doing right here. Except that this doesn't have an exit transition. So that's quite simple and straightforward. So for the next one, we have development, which is quite similar to the form one, except it has a little bit more transition change or effect. So we have duplicated it. To duplicate, you can simply copy and paste a Control C, Control V, and you can get a new layer, and you can simply place it over here next to it. So since we already have the bottom transition, it is quite similar. All you have to do to have one letter at a time come and place itself in a straight line is uh, when you click on this transition, you have paragraph, word, and letter. So as you can see, it's coming letter by letter. So letter forward. And that's pretty simple. And you can get this effect by using uh, any of these three uh, preset settings here. And let's move on to this one, which is quite interesting, and it is a group. So let's go ahead and click on open group. So in order to have a counter animation on the screen, you can head up to Studio and you can scroll in right here. This has all of your basic essentials for different animation, beginner, advanced, any level for that matter. So when you scroll down, you have simply drag and drop it onto the screen. And here we have 5. So basically it goes up to 10 because simply I have placed a starting point and the ending point, which is from 0 to 10, and it's quite simple. And once it reaches 10 right here, I have placed in a text element, which is quite simple. Text element right here. and we have the up animation. So a clever way to place your text when a particular layer is ending, especially from the in transition, as you can see, 10 has ended right here, and immediately this X transition starts in right here. So basically, how long or how well into the video or the clip this particular line is, as you can see, this particular line is, that's where this particular transition ends. That's where 10 stops its animation. So that's where the 10 stops the animation, and that's where I have placed in this X element, which rises up and scales into the screen. So that's pretty clean. Let's head back to the main timeline. This white background starts at over here, which is about 2 seconds in, and it ends at almost 8 seconds in. So from 2 to 8 we have a white background, and it's quite simple to bring in any color for that matter. So it's simply a rectangle. So you can simply head over to this plus icon and you can bring in any shape. Since this is a white background, rectangle makes more sense. So you can bring in, stretch it to the size of the screen, and you can simply change the color right here. So that's uh, simple right there. So the X animation stops right here, as you can see, and this layer is also the X animation, 10X animation layer. But it is a new layer because I've added in this really nice orange to a little bit peach shade color onto the text. And I've also added in the position animation because, as you can see here, it exits towards the left. And the exit animation for this is, again, you can navigate to motion, out, and since we are exiting the screen with this element right here, the text element, you can simply head over to motion, out, position, and then click on left because you want the element to head to the left of the screen. Basically, you want to exit the element to the left of the screen. So that's what it does. So for the next element that we have right here, okay, this is again a little bit different, but it's quite similar to the previous one. So you can duplicate this or you can create a new one. This has a little bit of gradient effect. Simply drag and drop text elements, type in, retype the word, and we want it to be a little bit faster. As you can see right here, it has a little bit of bounce. It comes from the right to the left, and it's like it has a little bit of bounce effect to it. So since it is coming in, we are again going head over to motion, position, and when you scroll down, you have this bounce left. So here you have the preview. It is really nice. So you can simply click on it to add the animation to the layer. That's pretty much it. So that's really nice and quick. This layer is also similar to the previous layer, except we have a little bit difference. So this layer is also similar to the previous layer, except for the previous layer, for this layer we have it as bounce left, and this one we have bounce up. So that's the only difference that is there. You can duplicate it, and since uh, it is the beginning transition, you can obviously duplicate it, and you can activate this motion layer or this motion animation onto this particular layer. And for the gradient effect, you can select the text, head over to color. Here you have three different options right here. First one is just solid color, that is just one color. And for the second one, we have gradient, and third one is also gradient. So for the center one, for the or the second animation, we have selected two colors. One is a little bit darker, another one is a little bit lighter. You can obviously choose colors of your choice, and you can simply once you have activated the second option of the gradient, you can choose any color and it gets applied onto the. You can simply click out and it is right there. So that is it. Let's head over to part 2.